Good morning, all of you. So, welcome, sir. Hello.
Naveen, JD sir ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
sir, ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
Fine. ನಾನು ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀನಿ.
Sir.
Yes, sir. Good morning. Good morning.
Sir, good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Sir.
Shall we start, sir?
Yeah, please start.
Yeah.
Sir, start ಮಾಡೋದು sir.
Yeah.
Sir,
Yeah.
waiting room, many members are there, sir.
No, we are admitting, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Naveen,
very good
start
morning
ಮಾಡಿ.
to all. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Very good morning to all of you. With the blessings of His Holiness Dr. Shivratri Deshikendra Mahaswamiji, Management Institute, JSS ATEB, and the staff of Department of Computer Science and Engineering, I welcome all for this 5-day faculty development program on blockchain sponsored by AICTE. First of all, I would like to thank AICTE for providing this opportunity for our department and our institute, and also thank all the participants for registering and attending this inauguration today. I would like to give a glimpse of JSS for all the participants. His Holiness Jagadguru Dr. Shivratri Rajendra Mahaswamiji established this Jagadguru Sri Shivratrishwara Mahavidyapita, we call it as JSS MVP, in 1954, focusing on a purpose as expansive and yet as specific as improving the quality of life through human development. The JSS Mahavidyapita has grown from strength to strength. Under the untiring efforts of the current Jagadguru Dr. Sri Shivratri Rajendra Mahaswamiji, Deshikendra Mahaswamiji, the Mahavidyapita has witnessed enormous growth in the field of education and today has over 300 institutions under its umbrella, from kindergartens to postgraduate centers and postdoctoral research catering to educational needs of more than 1 lakh students. JSS Academy of Technical Education, which was established in the year 1997 at Bangalore and is under the umbrella of JSS MVP, Mysuru. JSS ATE is the result of the vision of our President, His Holiness Jagadguru Sri Shivratri Deshikendra Mahaswamiji, to proactively participate in establishing a world-class institution for technical education. The campus is located on a sprawling 21.17 acres land surrounded by lush green plantation on the southwestern edge of Bangalore city. The institution is affiliated to Vishveshwaraya Technological University, VTU, Belagavi, and all the programs are accredited by NBA and we have got Q-Gauge Gold. Coming to Department of Computer Science Engineering, this was established in the year 1997 with the objective of imparting quality education in the field of computer science and engineering. The department is accredited by NBA with current intake of 180 students. It has to the credit a team of qualified, experienced and dedicated faculty. Our alumni are serving in various positions in companies like Amazon, Adobe, Accenture, Wipro Technologies, and with the rapidly evolving technology and continuous need for innovation, it has been the department's ongoing endeavor to produce quality engineering students. At present, JSS ATE Bangalore has 7 undergraduate programs and 1 PG program, along with the postgraduate on MBA. All the departments have recognized research centers under VTU, Belagavi, and more than 120 candidates are pursuing their research programs at JSS ATE. The total strength is over 3,000 in the campus. Now, I would like to introduce our Joint Director, Dr. Mahadev Swami, a result-oriented person with 26 years of proven experience in teaching invention-based research, intellectual property creation, filing and licensing, DSP, image and video processing, software development, system testing, automotive infotainment, embedded system, setting up and managing offshore development centers, administration and management. He has co-founded a company, Applied Invention India Private Limited, in 2012 and working as a managing director and CEO. The objective is to create and monetize IPs. It is first of its kind in India to establish IP commercialization and consultancy to connect inventions to reach out right companies. He was reaching out to universities and extending coaching and mentoring of faculty, consulting in creating invention-based research and creation of patents. Thank you, sir. Thank you for being here today. And I request you to address the participants and give your suggestions. Thank you, sir.
Please, sir.
Thank you, Naveen. Good morning to all of you. Good morning, Principal. Good morning, all the faculty, and Dr. Naveen, who is coordinating this workshop, and also all the participants who have joined this FDP under the ATAL scheme. Just to start with the quote by Tammy Jelland. He says, a learning curve is essential to growth. I repeat, a learning curve is essential to growth, which is said by Tammy Jelland. With this, just I want to mention the AICTE with the objective of bringing the new and emerging technologies to prepare the faculty and the staff of the entire country. They created this ATAL scheme. Under the scheme, many FDPs workshops are being conducted across India, and of course the whole objective is the train the trainer. That means you train the staff or the faculty, then in turn they train the students. So various schemes, various topics, various subjects are being chosen by the ATAL Academy, and then they're sponsoring the entire program. And I think, of course, the pandemic situation made the scheme not down. At that point of time, the AICTE has come out with a new method where they can conduct this program online. So instead of offline, with the sanction, many of the programs are sanctioned before February 2020. Then AICTE again, somewhere in month of May, they came out with a proposal that the institute can do online FDP instead of offline. So with this, I think we must thank or acknowledge the AICTE for sanctioning this FDP on blockchain technology at our JSS Academy of Technical Education, Bangalore, for sanctioning and granting us to conduct the program. And as Dr. Naveen already mentioned, so we have various participants from across in India participating in this workshop FDP program. So of course the blockchain still in the very nascent stage, initial stages of development. It's not still evolved where the applications are being used in many of the areas. Still only experimented, or maybe I can say it's still the alpha version. So if you look at the blockchain technology, it is not a replacement. It is only a disruption or the invention which happened, maybe enhancing the capability of the computer science. Example, all of us already know how the data structures works, how the programming languages are developed, or the security systems works, like a cryptography or the cyber security, all those things. So now only enhancing that, and how can we make foolproof with effective and efficient methods for administration, governance, or anywhere. So if you look at the future scope of blockchain, maybe many of the people, say if you ask the normal people, so most of us in academia and industry, there are two types of analysts. So one type of analyst they say there's a huge scope for this blockchain technology. There is a lot of benefit by using this. Then we have to develop and then prepare, go with this technology. There's another group of people, I say analysts. So there's another. I think somebody can mute the mic. Please mute your mics. So yeah. So another type of analyst, which there are people who says this is a useless. With this we cannot do anything. Only just a hype or something like that. But I don't agree with that, because that's, of course, we require the people, both type of people, who says no, required or not required. But still, we are in the research stage or the implementation stage of the blockchain technology, or of the applying stage of the blockchain technology. Maybe in the days to come, years to come, the blockchain will be implemented. Maybe if you just look at another 10 years from now or 5 years from now, the blockchain will occupy the most of the places. So name the banking and finance, or the healthcare, even education system, or name anything. Maybe a digital advertising. So most of the things will occupy this. The blockchain will take up the front seat. For example, if today you look at the digital advertising, the domain or the market. So they're suffering because of they're not able to track what is happening, what is going, where to advertise, how to get the invoicing. So a lot of problems are happening. So though we have a computerization happened, a lot of problems are happening. So if suppose the blockchain is used in the digital advertising, so we can optimize, then we can reach the people properly. We can get a lot of revenue. So the digital advertising companies, for example, like a Google or the Facebook or the Instagram, name anyone. So they're surviving based on the digital advertisement or digital advertising. So they are the people who use this the blockchain technology for their effective the business. So similarly, education. Say today, most of the faculty, why the stress part of the faculty or the staff is that, so they make an teaching learning process. So they teach, they have to make evaluation or assessment. Once they make an assessment, you have to create the records. So maybe you conduct the internal test, you conduct give the assignment, you conduct the seminar, you conduct the quiz. So many things, so many types of assessment we do. But the keeping a record of that the student and evaluation and keeping the record, it's a painful job, because we use the Excel sheet, we may be having a ERP, maybe so many things. Still, that is a painful job, because after 3 years or 4 years, so if you want the record of that person, so people, if you ask people to give that, they still struggle to fetch the record. So that means we are not still in a stage where you can give the proper record of the student after 3 years or 4 years or 5 years or 10 years. Maybe blockchain technology will help to overcome that particular problem in the education sector. Not only that, maybe even a teaching learning process for your digital pedagogy, what you use. So maybe you can use the blockchain technology. So a lot of things are there. So with that in mind, maybe next 5 days, the lot of sessions are planned. My request to all of you is that there are three or four the things in this one. So one is that you look at the perspective of a research. So what research can be done using a blockchain technology, and also maybe other one is that developing the new methodologies. For example, it could be a data structures, it could be programming languages. Maybe like if you look at the programming languages today, people use the Python or the C++ or Java or JavaScript. Maybe many more has to be developed suiting to this particular tech. It could be Ruby or the Go or Rust or many other things. So similarly, the cryptography. Cryptography is a topic which is very difficult, because it's a mathematics oriented subject. So cryptography is very important. So without the cryptography, you cannot sustain the blockchain technology. So cryptography is one area where people can do research, develop one thing. So second part of it is developing the skills with the student. So maybe skills is important. One is the research, what you do. One is the development, what you do. Other one is the skills, which probably required for the students to develop that. Then when they join the industry, they should start working. My request to all of you is that for next 5 days, we have a lot of the good speakers, a resource person like Dr. Anand Nayyar, who is going to give today the keynote address, and who is a very experienced, and a lot of experienced people who are experienced. People are giving the talk and sessions in this 5 days workshop. So my request to all of you is that please learn, and then learn and then relearn. So maybe you can able to apply that. So whatever the way possible, you can do. You can apply for research. You can apply for domain skills. You can apply for developing the skills, technical skills, programming skills to the student. So if you are able to take this the learning from here and apply to the student, student, apply to your workplace to develop the students in next 5 years. If you're each one of you, if you're able to prepare at least 50 students, next 5, each one of you, maybe if there is a 50 participant, 50 into 50 is the number of students you're going to develop. So that is what we can give back to the society, give back to the industry, give back to the institution. My request to all of you is that all the participants who are participating, please use this opportunity a lot and then apply and then make this maybe for institute you are help the industry and help the society to benefit from the blockchain technology. With these few words, I wish all the best to the FDP and I wish happy learning to all of you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your encouraging words. Now I would like to introduce our beloved principal, Dr. Mrityunjay Viglate.
Introduction first again.
Okay, sir. He is our principal, and today he is at VTU Belagavi for academic work. We know his busy schedule. With that, also with our request, he is here today. Sir, maybe just if you can address the participants, would be helpful. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. And seeking the blessings of His Holiness Jagadguru Sri Shivaratri Deshikendra Mahaswamiji, the respected Joint Director, sir, Dr. Mahadev Swami, and keynote speakers, guest speakers, and all participants of this
recording ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ ಬರ್ತಾಗ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ ನಂದ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್
ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಸರ್
ಓಕೆ has some problem with his internet. We'll just wait. So sorry, there is some technical problem. He is not able to join from Belgaum. We will continue, and I would like to introduce our today's keynote speaker, Dr. Anand Nayyar, who is an academician, researcher, author, writer, inventor, innovator, scientist, consultant, and orator. He received his MCA from Punjab University, Patiala in 2008 with gold medal and distinction, MPhil in 2009 with first division from VMU Tamil Nadu, in 2011 with first division distinction and university topper, MBA Information Systems with the first division from Sikkim Manipal University. He did his PhD in computer science from Desh Bhagat University in 2017 in wireless sensor networks, SWAM intelligence and network simulation. He was the topper in the coursework. He is a certified professional with the 75 plus international and globally recognized professional certifications from various IT giants like Cisco, Microsoft, Oracle, Oracle 12C, beingcert.com, Exen certification, Asia School of Cyber Laws, GAQM certification. His miscellaneous certifications include Linux administration, Oracle Workforce Development, Oracle Certified Associate, and the list goes on. He has published 350 plus research papers in various national and international conferences and even reputed IT magazines like Open Source for You and Electronics for You. He has published 25 books in different subjects of computer science and national and international publishers like Springer, IGI Global, Elsevier, CRC Press, BPB Publications, etc. He is acting as a program committee, organizing committee, advisory committee, reviewer committee member for various international conferences across the globe. He is one of the top reviewers in computer science as per publons.com. He has 16 plus years of teaching and research experience with Pace Computers Limited, Ludhiana, Arya College, KLSD College, KCL Institute of Management and Technology, Jalandhar, and currently he is working as professor, scientist and researcher in graduate school, Dai Tan University, Vietnam. He has guided 2 MS, 7 MTech and 2 ECE students and 30 MCA students for theses and projects. He is a part of more than 500 plus research journals as editorial board member, reviewer also. He has acted as session chair and session co-chair in more than 20 national conferences and 40 international conferences. He is a member of more than 50 international and national research societies. He has been speaker at Google I/O 2018, Mien Trung event and FinTech 2018-2019, a highly reputed industry event in Vietnam. He is a member of 50 plus organizations. He is an acting and senior member of ACM and also acting as ACM distinguished speaker. He has been awarded with 25 awards for teaching, research, innovation, and scientists like Shiksharatan Puraskar, Best Citizen of India, ISTE, Best Teacher Award, Young Scientist Award, Bharat Excellence Award, Outstanding Reviewer Award. Again, the list goes on and on. He has been cited in Marquis Who is Who in the world of 2014, 15, 16, 17, 18, 2019, and also 2020. He has created more than 250 plus videos on YouTube on his channel Gyan with Anand Nayyar. He is currently working in the area of wireless sensor networks, SWAM intelligence, cloud computing, cybersecurity, wireless communications, machine learning, deep learning, smart cities, wireless communications, high performance computing, Internet of Things, data science analytics, open source technology, drones, computational intelligence, and blockchain technology. So this is his introduction, and thank you Anand Nayyar sir for accepting our invitation and being a keynote speaker today. And just with one mail to him, he accepted our invitation and wholeheartedly accepted to be the keynote speaker today. And not to waste time, over to you, sir. And we are awaiting for your talk. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. First of all, is my voice audible to you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So if just in case my voice becomes not audible, so you can just please stop me at in between and I will stop and I will get back to you. Okay. So good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Dr. Anand Nayyar and I'm working as professor, researcher and computer scientist in Graduate School, Dutan University, Da Nang, Vietnam. Now, before I present my lecture in which we will be discussing with regard to blockchains, bitcoins, and other terminologies, I would like to share some important views with all of you. The topic of the FDP is actually very, very significant. Now, let me tell you, everybody, that most of the countries, and including Vietnam, they have the agenda. Even China is having good agenda to become a blockchain country. Japan, Italy, France, and even USA, some parts of USA, they have already adopting blockchain technologies, which I will be discussing when we go towards the application front. And maybe in the near future, you will see the cryptocurrencies as well as the money will be totally converted to blockchain technologies. So blockchain in this real world is having a huge potential to understand and a huge potential of research to be understood. And let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, when blockchain started, it only started like a cryptocurrency or as a, you can say, substitute product of today's money. But now blockchain is not only regarded as a substitute of money or cryptocurrencies, it is having diverse applications in various platforms of computer science. And in the near future, we will see that totally security will be only based on blockchain, and it is actually happening. It is not going to happen, it is actually happening. Blockchain is a technology that some people say that it will be coming, it will start it soon, but I always correct them that blockchain is a technology that has already started and the things are getting moving on in the right direction. And everybody believe me that in blockchain technologies, the things are actually moving at a very fast pace and in a very right direction. So with this FDP, you will be able to understand what is blockchain, what are the different techniques and terminologies. I don't know much about the curriculum. So I think that in 5 days, you will be able to understand this technology and you will be able to manually and practically expose yourself that how we can do work into blockchains and how we can transform various applications and areas by including blockchain as a critical application. So let me start the lecture. In this lecture, as I'm the keynote speaker, so I will be discussing the most important prospects of blockchains and Bitcoins. And before I start, I would like to tell you something that we have doing our research and what I'm doing presently. So ladies and gentlemen, these are some of the contributions that I've done in blockchain. And I would like to inform you that each and every paper of my blockchain is a very reputed paper in a high-end journal, all almost SCI journals. So the first paper that you can see that we have implemented BEAM, a blockchain-based framework for securing electronic healthcare records. It was a GlobeCon 2018 best paper, and it is published in the A-Star conference of IEEE. Authentication protocol for cloud databases using blockchain mechanism. So because it's a public platform, and let me tell you, this paper has already been used by 3 companies, 2 companies in USA and 1 is in Taiwan, and it has already been implemented in 3 data centers. And one of my paper is also being implemented in real time, and the industries are using my research of blockchain. So the third paper that I'm going to share you is the blockchain and fog-based architecture for everything, Internet of Everything in smart cities. Very great paper, and it is published in Future Internet Journal. So the next paper is enhancement of security and handling the inconspicuousness in IoT using a simple size extensible blockchain. And you can see that it is published in MDP Energies, one of the strongest paper in the world. And blockchain, a path to the future. So if you are new to blockchain, you want to understand blockchain, you can see this chapter. It's the biggest chapter ever written in date till blockchain. And recently we have published one paper in regular issue, that is blockchain based energy efficient communication for food supply chain industry, a traceability. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. Sir, excuse me, please.
Yeah.
Hello.
Sir, my screen is regularly getting, you can say, closed. So please stop this type of problems.
Pardon?
Sir, my screen is getting closed one by one, again and again.
Okay.
Yeah, please,
Fine.
sir. Yeah, please. Thank you so much. So I was telling you about my paper, that is blockchain-based efficient communication for food supply chain industry. It's again a critical application that we have designed. It's into Q2 journal, that is International Journal of Communication Systems. And you can see this paper that has been released last month. And if you are new to open source for you, it's a very good magazine. And if you see that we have, I have already collaborated with Wipro person, and we are doing some good articles in the world of blockchain. Already 9 articles are published, and we are going to come up with 10 more articles in open source for you. So it will become the highest number of articles on blockchain ever published in open source for you magazine. So what are my real-time works? What exactly I'm into blockchain? I would like to tell you. So my roles, because side by side in my lecture, I will be telling you what practical exposure I'm doing. So I will be telling you one by one. So my experiences right now is 4 years. Right now, I'm working in blockchain from the last 4 years, with 2 years in security and 1 year in research. I'm even Bitcoin. Please mute your mics, please. Please mute the mics. So I'm a Bitcoin professional trader. So I'm a Bitcoin professional trader and consultant in cryptocurrencies. And even let me tell you that I have earned lots of money when I have started the world of blockchains and Bitcoins. So I will be also telling you how to trade into Bitcoins and blockchains, which is again a big problem in the whole world, and people are confused. So I'm even a Bitcoin miner. I'm even doing the work of Bitcoin miner. I'm a researcher in industry for blockchain products, that is testing and security penetration testing. Vietnam is a blockchain country, and lots of companies, they send me their products for beta testing and even for security analysis. So I'm working as an industry consultant also. Even I'm a cluster designer for blockchain using Apple technology, Intel and NVIDIA. We have recently designed 6 blockchain clusters till date in last 1 year. I'm a professional programmer using JavaScript, Solidity, and C++. Until date, 3,000 plus lines of code and 4 bugs are already being discovered by me in Solidity, and it is reported and accepted. I'm a system architect for Bitcoin system development, and even I do lots of algorithms for complex mathematics as well as for real-time implementations in blockchain. Please mute your mics. Thank you. I'm getting disturbed. Remove that. So what is the technology that I'm working in blockchain? So you can see that this is my first system, that is Hyperliquid Alloy Core. So this is the first system that I use for Bitcoin mining. And second is Apple Mac Pro. So I'm using 2 systems for Bitcoin mining as well as for algorithm design. But the third thing I will not be able to discuss publicly. It's a secret customized system, but it's one of the most powerful systems that you can see right now the mankind can even think. But just I would like to tell you that it is equipped with 100 terabytes of storage systems. So let's start the lecture, everybody, with the evolution and how we came to blockchains. So let us understand the history first of all. I would like to tell you most important facts today. Many people say that Satoshi Nakamoto has designed blockchain. But I would like to start with the important fact that till date, there is no person who is readily getting accepted with a credibility that who is the inventor of blockchain. Satoshi Nakamoto has given the concept of Bitcoins. So blockchain is basically a platform how the Bitcoin actually takes place. So nobody knows who is actual inventor of blockchains. So I will be clearing every aspect of blockchains and Bitcoins today. And after that, please note your questions. I will be coming to all of your questions step by step and one by one. So let's start with the evolution of money. So what exactly is known as the money? We will first of all understand that. So we started with a barter system in which you have one thing and I have another thing. I will exchange the things with you. Then we started with the metal things, which means when we have the metals and non-metals, we have gold, silver, and bronze. After that, the concept came to the word of coins in the age of Rajas and Maharajas. Then we came to the word of paper money. Now we even use paper money when we have like US dollar, Indian rupees, we have Bangladesh money, we have Singapore dollars, we have Vietnam dongs, we have paper money. Even today we use that. So after that, the shift came in 2007 when we started adopting plastic money and we have e-money with us. That is actually known as debit cards, credit cards, or foreign exchange cards. The thing shifted when we have electronic money. Now we all used to go for NEFT, the SWIFT, or even IFSC payments or international payments. We using computers. But now everybody, I would like to divert your attention towards the future, or you can say the current future, that is going to play a crucial role and more advanced than as compared to all other systems covering the mankind from thousands and thousands of years. The word is called cryptocurrency. And one more thing I would like to share with all of you, cryptocurrency is having a very bright future. People are getting rich, but the main important thing is you should have a proper knowledge before you start investing into cryptocurrencies. So how you have to start, how you have to do, I will be discussing practically after the lecture. So the top cryptocurrencies, everybody, and you already know, you have seen in the news also that Bitcoin has already jumped up $40,000 at one time. But right now, this is the latest graph that I have taken about 1.5 hours back. So Bitcoin is trading at $35,367.35. Now imagine everybody, when Bitcoin started, it started from $267. And if you have invested in the Bitcoin when it started from $267, or if you have 3 Bitcoins, you must be having $2 million today as per the current market ratio. So you can see that the word is getting quantum fold in the word of Bitcoins and cryptocurrencies. Ethereum, Tether, Ripple, Litcoins, and this called Stellar, and even USD, the Monero, these currencies have a huge potential where you can do your current investment. But what to do investment, how to do it, I will be telling at the later stage. So listen the lecture very carefully. The future is already here. So if you say that future will be, so if you say that the future is already going to be in front of you, it is not. The future is already here, but it is not evenly distributed. What is the main thing that makes the blockchains and Bitcoins most important thing is that blockchain use peer-to-peer communication systems, which means every information that is written on the blockchains or on the blocks is publicly visible, but in a very secure manner so that privacy should not be violated. And believe me, everybody, that if you talk of the perfect privacy, perfect security in today's world, blockchain is the only answer that comes in front of you. So the computing power in every day is almost getting everything in every data center. You will all agree with me, when Facebook started or even Google started, they actually started their data center with only 8 GB of RAM. But you will be stunned to note that even in CES, Samsung Galaxy S21 has been launched with even 8 GB of RAM. And if this improvement goes on, maybe the one day will come that in 1 or 2 years, what I expect is that maybe the mobile phones will become more powerful and more efficient as compared to our sophisticated laptops. So you can say that the global connected computing and the devices installed, they are actually improving by leaps and bounds. And you can see that in 2021, what is the maximum forecast is that we keep the 4G and we keep the 5G into the most important string. But the 5G will be improving, but still the computing power needs to be improved. So the result will be nothing less than that how technology solutions are designed and architected. The most important thing is with the most modern era will be having expensive computing and high trust environment leading to centralized internet. But for the postmodern era, we will have free computing because we all know edge computing, cloud computing, maybe in the near future, you just have a simple hardware, but every software and every information will be on the cloud. And it is already happening. So the information will be having low trust environment. So in order to improve that low trust environment, we need to improve that with the power of blockchains. Today, we all question that is our data private? And even lots of the people are also questioning that WhatsApp is getting down because of its privacy problems. But why not Facebook is inculcating blockchain technology into WhatsApp? So that will be the solution, that you will all remain on blockchain on WhatsApp, but we will implement blockchain for that. So blockchain will be a solution for your privacy. So the content for this lecture will be what exactly is blockchain and what is Bitcoins. After that, we will be coming towards how it is relevant towards your business and even other critical applications. And I will be also highlighting some of the effects with regard to artificial intelligence and even blockchain, how they can be fused together into making the healthcare the better prospect area. And after that, we will discuss some of the real-time case studies and applications of blockchain in the real world that you will be actually seeing that how it is getting implemented. So let's start with a basic timeline of online transactions. So you can say that in 1990, this was a year when the transformation came, when we started the movement from cash to digital, when actually we started with the use of online banking transaction, NEFT, OTPs, or even you can say the card monies or credit card or debit card. So in 1991, the David Chaum, he was the main person who actually laid the foundation of cryptocurrencies of today with a concept called DigiCash. But the only problem before Satoshi Nakamoto was that everybody was having the concept, everybody was having technology, but how to have the platform to get it implemented in the real time was nobody having that. So that was the problem that was actually solved by Satoshi Nakamoto when he implemented Bitcoin, but when we came with the blockchain technology. So in 1992, we have the cyberpunks with the publication of Cyberpunks Manifesto, most important activity that actually led the transformation, how we think of technology of today. Actually, sir, somebody else are sharing the presentation. That is the reason. So in 1997, Hashcash, the Adam Back, he was the main person who actually implemented the concept of hashing in this currency. And today, even if you talk of Bitcoins, if you talk of cryptocurrencies, they all use hashing. So the basic inventor behind that was Adam Cash. So I will be also proving you that Satoshi Nakamoto was not only the inventor, he was just the innovator who actually laid the concepts. He just got the fusion of the concepts from various innovations that was actually happening. And he just laid the foundation of cryptocurrencies and Bitcoins. In 1998, by B Bunny, by V Dai, very important person to be understood when he laid the foundation of BitMoney. And 2005 by Nick Szabo, the Bitgold, and that was the final technology before Satoshi Nakamoto came with the concept of Bitcoins in 2008. So that was the concept, everybody. So actually Bitcoin is now 13 years old, but still it is an age of 8 years in terms of development and prime implementations. So the problem with the DigiCash was that identity became the new money. The full traceability was happening in personal transactions, payment blockades were there, and even confiscations were even becoming easier. And the problem was near absolute efficiency in tax collection. So that was the problems, and that was the problem with the digital cash. That was the reason that many people like David Chaum and Adam Bax, they came with the concept of these type of cryptocurrencies. So David Chaum, he was the man who actually laid the foundation of this movement, that how we can have another platform rather than to have cash and online transactions. So today, everybody, if you talk of money, you have some paper money, like in the form of currency in your pocket, you have your credit cards. But let me tell you, in the future, you will only having your own identification with your own public and private keys, and that can be linked to your wallet that contains the coins equivalent to the value of the money that you actually own. So in the future, if you own 100 rupees, you just have 100 rupees note, which means you have a denominations, but it doesn't have any denominations. If you own $50,000, you can have $50,000 based Bitcoins. So it is totally flexible, dynamic, and scalable. So David Chaum, he originated DigiCash, and the problem was that the payment was having untraceable payments, anonymous. So he found the DigiCash in 1990, and DigiCash goes bankrupt in 1998 and was bought out in 2002. Why it was brought out? Because again, the problems was that he has the concept, but he doesn't have the architecture and the model to get it to the real market. And still the anonymity and the traceability was again a full problem. So DigiCash goes on making the transactions anonymous, but still traceability was possible, because still at that time, cryptocurrency or cryptography was not very much evolved. So the consideration was to have digital payments would lead to undesirable ability of insights of having public spendings and having private life. And that was the main idea for today, everybody, that keep your data secure. Keep your transactions in a very anonymous manner. And that is the reason that people are actually adopting blockchain. People trust blockchain. So this was a person actually who improved that DigiCash problem with the improvement of the concept of hashing, and he introduced Hashcash. And what Adam Back has invented, that is Hashcash at that time, even it is used in today's modern cryptocurrencies or even by some of the apps or cryptocurrency exchange platforms. So he led to the creation of Hashcash in 1997 by a partial hash collision based postage scheme. So that was the innovation that was done by him. And after that, a span prevention system was made in order to check that and how to verify the computations. So the paper was explicitly referenced possible outlining the DigiCash. So that is the reason, everybody, that DigiCash laid the foundation. Hashcash became the improvement. So you can say that it was called an improvised DigiCash. So after that, the new person who came the concept with the advanced thing and laid the foundation of today's Bitcoins known as B-Money, the BitMoney by VDAI. He led the creation of B-Money in 1998. So you can say that Bitcoins and blockchains are not new. The concept already started in 1990s. And after that, it introduces the public key pseudonyms, the creation of money using Hashcash, and two possible keeping ledger, that is proof of work and proof of service. So even today, you will agree with me that these three concepts actually are being used in the world of blockchains and Bitcoins today. Ripple actually uses that, Ethereum uses that, Litecoin uses that. So missing was the main thing, that was the main thing, that how to control the money creation. Because at that time, Bitcoin mining and even powerful computers were not there. And that was still the thing was that it was having a centralized system. So today's banking system is even centralized. Centralized means that if you go for a transaction, there is a bank, and after that we have a RBI, and RBI is connecting everything. Okay, so that's called a centralized system. But in blockchains and Bitcoins, there is no centralized system. Everything is decentralized. There is no government, there is no authority, nobody has any control. So everything is just between buyer and the sender. So one more concept came in between, that was by Nick Szabo, Bitgold. And it was in 1998. So 1998 was the crucial year for all of us to understand, because every innovation that we see today in terms of cryptocurrencies and technologies of advancements in security, that was all connected to 1998. So it introduced a timestamping and creation of money using Hashcash. So again, it was just a basic improvement of B-Money. And missing incentive was to keep the nodes honest. So that was a problem with that is the problem with the last, that is VDAI, B-Money, that is to keep the nodes honest. But after that, it was again having the problem to keep the incentives towards keeping the node honest. So that was the reason that Bitgold came into being with more security and honesty. So with that, he keeps the nodes fusible, and one token might be significantly more difficult than the other. So today, if you talk of a Bitcoin, you are actually talking of a token. So token is basically identity, that how much money you have and how much currency you actually own. So the summary is in front of you, that Who Sends by David Chaum, eventually DigiCash in 1981. Who do I send? The person who came with VDAI, B-Money. And after that, when do I send? With Satoshi Nakamoto, Bitcoin, it solved every problem. So that was the reason, everybody, that currencies were many, but there was no platform. So today we have currencies like Bitcoins, Litecoins, and we even have a platform that is actually known as blockchain. So the history of blockchain technology, you can see that we started from 1991 to 2008 when we have the origin. In 2010, the first Bitcoin purchase was happened, that is with 10,000 Bitcoins. And let me tell you, the Bitcoins are only 21 million Bitcoins. But only Ethereum and Ripple, they are working to keep more and more coins in the real world. So by 2142, the Bitcoins will be completely mined, Bitcoins will be finished, but still we need to work hard. So that's the reason Bitcoin, no doubt, it is a popular currency, but it is not a stable currency. It's a highly volatile currency. So 2012, you can see the transactions actually happening, and Bitcoin market surpasses $1 billion. And after that, in 2014, just only 6 years back, you can see that in blockchain technology, the R3 blockchain consortium was actually found in order to lead the financial institutions as well as the bankings. And after that, in 2015, today we all known as a smart contract, and it was established. And in 2016, the major security loophole was identified, making the people lose millions of dollars. But after that, we have lots of applications, and from 2018, Bitcoin and blockchains have never taken back. So we are progressing like anything. So today, if you talk of that security is a problem, privacy is a problem, no, it is not a problem. Everything is secure today. You can rest assured, but you must have a proper knowledge before you start investing into Bitcoins and blockchain technology. So you can say these are the 4 generations of blockchain that you can see in front of you. So the first generation is known as blockchain 1.0, which is known as digital currency, distributed ledger, Merkle tree, and proof of work. So after that, we have the Bitcoin blockchain 2.0 that was known as smart contract. With the 3.0, it became more scalable when we got apps, we got user experience, we added the power of artificial intelligence. But today's blockchain in 2021, that is actually known as blockchain 4.0, which is having industry infrastructure with real-time critical applications. So the question stands in front of you. Now you can all give the answer, but I will give you this question answer as a $1 million answer. So why is the world going crazy over blockchain? So it has a multifold answer. So if you talk of a miner, we are getting good commissions. We are mining the blocks because tradings are happening and we are getting good money. If you talk of Bitcoin investors or blockchain investors or currency investors, they are earning huge money. And why? Because of research and researchers, talk of researchers, they are getting blockchain based implementation based projects and products also in order to implement blockchain over there. I will be also telling you one of my product that is lying in front of me. I will not declare you right now. I will be showing you what me and my team is working on that. And you will be stunned to see what product we are building in order to keep blockchain as a real-time application in real world. I will be showing you my product also, but at the later half. So what is blockchain? Now understand everybody. Let me tell you, we should not discuss Bitcoins more because Bitcoin is basically a token. It is like a currency that is being traded. You can just transfer the money from your bank account to a wallet, and that wallet you can use in order to trade for the Bitcoins. Like you do, like suppose you want to invest into mutual funds, you call the investment advisor, you give him the check, he converts that money into the bonds and into mutual funds, and you keep on tracking the market and your mutual funds money gets doubled or even 3 times depending on that. So we will not talk of Bitcoins more or the currencies more. We will talk of the concept of blockchain. So basically, what is blockchain? It has two words in that. One is known as block and the second is called a chain. Whatever transaction is happening, suppose if you traded blockchains, suppose you purchased Bitcoins today of $25. So once the transaction happens, that transaction is actually being saved in a particular block. And that block contains series of transactions that are happening in the world of Bitcoins and digital cryptocurrencies. And every block has a certain limit. Once the block gets filled, it gets connected to another block with a particular chain. And that's why it is creating a peer-to-peer network across the world that blockchains and Bitcoins have the multiple entry. It's like a biggest hyperledger of the world. So blockchain is basically a system that is actually recording all the transactions, everything. So if you implement blockchain into healthcare, so all the patient records, like suppose if a patient is admitted and you are tracking his blood pressure, his heartbeat, and even the data values get recorded into the blocks. So you can make your own blockchain. So which means that everything you want to record, it gets recorded in the form of blocks without getting erased. You can't erase them. You can't even edit them. That's why it is more secure. So no one knows, anybody doesn't knows what is blockchain. The idea came only from Satoshi Nakamoto. So some people even give him the credit, but there is no person who actually behind blockchains. It is actually till date, it is not known. So what is the basics of blockchains and Bitcoins? It is like a distributed ledger. So I have already told you that the world is implementing blockchains at different variation levels. So if you have a blockchain network, you are actually connecting all the blocks of information and making it publicly visible. So all the transactions that are happening till date are publicly visible, but you will not be able to understand what is your name, what is the money, what is the receiver, who was the sender. No, just like a cryptographic form. I will be showing you the screenshot after some time. So it comprises of digital recorded data in packages called blocks. So similarly, if you talk of today's businesses, if any transaction happens, like suppose if I purchase a furniture for 5,000 rupees, so I can make the entry like furniture account debited to cash like 50,000 rupees or to bank account if I go for bank. So it is like a journal that records the transactions, and that journal can be even edited or even can be duplicated. So over there, it records the transactions, but it cannot be edited and even deleted. So everything that is being recorded in the blockchain is represented in the form of block, and every block is connected to another block. Like we have a linked list data structure when we study algorithms. So similarly, these blocks are connected to each other like in a form of linear chain. So all the transactions and everything, it is cryptographically hashed. So that's the reason, everybody, that blockchain security starts from the base till the end-to-end security, you can say. So all the things, all the data that is actually recorded in blockchain today remains untampered. So if you talk of business, why the businesses want the blockchain? Because any transaction, anything that happens in business that requires recording, or anything like sales, marketing, accounting, logistics, suppliers, everything will be recorded in a particular blockchain, like a private blockchain, and these transactions will never be edited and spoofed off. So the key concepts which are associated with blockchain is encryption. So today we many people don't know about it. So some
Sorry to disturb you, sir. We are not getting your voice.
actually,
Yes.
sir, actually, let me tell you, everybody, that many people are disturbing here. You
No,
can see that
actually
someone
we-
has muted me.
No, actually, we haven't given the permission, sir. I don't know
Sir,
how.
somebody is sharing my screen. Somebody has muted me. You can see over there, I have got a message. Somebody has muted you.
Okay. 1 second, sir.
That's why I prefer Zoom, sir.
Sir, now you please continue. Sir, can you please share again?
Can you see my screen, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No,
And
yes.
can you listen to me?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Where was the thing when you stopped listening to me? Hello? Excuse me, sir.
Next slide.
Yes, sir.
Sir, I want to, can you please listen to me, please? I want to say that, can you tell me that where it was muted so that I can repeat that lecture again?
The basics.
Okay.
Yeah, here on. Yeah.
Sir, now if the interruption happens, I have to close the lecture.
Yeah.
So let us
I
start.
request all the participants, please mute yourself and do not share your screens.
Sir, at least there is some discipline, because a keynote speaker is presenting and people are disturbing. This is called indiscipline in the lectures, I can say over there. Okay, everybody. So let us start the basics again. So I'm sorry, but I'm getting somewhat disturbed in the lecture, and this is not good. So let us start with the basics of blockchain. So I've already told you that we will not discuss much on Bitcoins and Litcoins or other things. These are just the currencies in which you can just go to a website. I will tell you the website after that, in which you will see the number of you can say the price of every currency, and even it breaks my stamina also, sir. Okay, so you can see on that website how it is how every currency is having a particular value and you can invest into that currency. I will be telling you that website later, but we will focus only on blockchain because blockchain is the area to research how Bitcoins and other things actually work and how you can use blockchain as a part of your research. So you can say that blockchain and Bitcoins is basically a part that how it actually works. So blockchain makes it work. So basically it's a distributed ledger in which everything is comprised of all the data that is recorded in a package is called blocks. So blockchain has two words. One is called block and second is called chain. So block contains the list of the data which is encrypted in a cryptographic manner. And after that, it is linked in a linear chain with other blocks. It's like a linked list structure. And every block in the chain contains transactions. Like we have A, B, C, like all these type of junk words that are very difficult to hack. So many people ask me this question, sir, can it be hacked? What type of encryption we use? So it is not like AES, DES, or even blowfish that we use in our networking books. It is a SHA 256-bit. And many people still ask me the question, can it be hacked? I say it can be hacked, but if you have a quantum computer. But if you have an ordinary computer, most powerful computers, even you have a data center, you can't hack SHA 256-bit. So the key concepts that we have to understand in blockchain, that is encryption, replication, integrity, and mining. So what is encryption? So there are two types of keys that are used in blockchains. One is called a private key, that is between sender and the receiver. And there is a public key which is actually known in order to validate the transaction. That is only used by the blockchain network systems or even the Bitcoin miners. Replication. So if there is any data that is being missed out or a transaction that is not acknowledged, it actually gets stored in a particular server, and after that it gets replicated to the main hyperledger. We maintain the integrity. Integrity means that there is nothing a chance that if you send me 1 Bitcoin and I will receive 0.0089, it is 100% accurate. And the mining means like we are the people like Bitcoin miners, and we use complex mathematics and complex algorithms that when a transaction happens, we are the miners that take over the transaction. We try to authenticate that transaction with cryptographically hashed algorithms that are very complex, I'm saying you. And once the transaction gets approved by the first 3 miners, that transaction actually gets recorded in the blockchains. So what is blockchain? It is basically a little more than a distributed secure log file. So I've already told you what is blockchain. It's called block and chain. The transactions are happening. Even if you want to make an IoT system that, okay, sir, I want to make an IoT system with a blockchain. So that IoT system is recording the environmental temperature, humidity, or anything at regular intervals. And whatever the temperature and humidity that is being recorded by the sensors, it is actually stored in a form of blockchain. So IoT, smart cities, the main thing is whatever the data you want to store in an appropriate manner. You can even use blockchain as a secure mechanism. So it's the biggest log file in the world. So blockchain has many meanings. The most important thing is to understand the power of blockchain systems and the things that they do. It is very important to distinguish between the things and the Bitcoin currencies. So I just give you an example of a counting ledger and a telephone lines. You can see on this slide right now. You can see that if you talk of a phone, we require a digital system, or you can say an analog system, and we have a particular line. So if you dial a number, that line is actually routing the path of your telephone to another person so that the other person can have a connection establishment. So similarly in blockchain, we have the particular blockchains and underlying the digital currencies so that you can use public keys and private keys, and you use the cryptocurrency platforms in order to transmit the money. So it's like even like a digital phone lines that are scattered and communicated everywhere. So what is blockchain? So technology, blockchain is a technology. It is not a standard. It is not anything. It's just a technology. So it's a technology that permits the recording of the transactions any transactions, whether it's a smart city, whether it's a hotel, whether it's a hospital, whether it's a, you can say agriculture, anything, everything transmits the data. Everything requires a data. So everything you want to record of a data which you want to permit in a block, that becomes a blockchain. So it allows the resulting ledger to be accessed by different servers. So it becomes a global blockchain system and can be accessed anywhere. And cryptographically chain blocks are chronologically ordered. That is the reason, everybody, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We also use the Merkle tree based bashing system. So you can see that as per the latest research, blockchain is having provenance in lots of notable transactions. You can see right now we have a land registry where we have a smart contract between the seller, between the buyer, and even with the government. Personal identification. So we all say that Aadhaar card is there, but in the future we will have the blockchain Aadhaar cards. So once the transaction is recorded, some people try to tamper their date of birth or other thing. It will never happen. It will become secure. So transportation, anything, bill of lading, certificates, international forms, everything can be recorded. Banking system, and that is what we have to see as the major primary area of research, because Vietnam is a blockchain country and already banks of like Bank of Taiwan, Bank of China, Bank of Malaysia, Singapore, and even Vietnam National Bank, they have all started implementing blockchains. Manufacturing, food distribution, and already you have seen my research paper also on food distribution. So very soon, like if you talk of McDonald's, Subways, they want to implement blockchain in coming 1 or 2 years. So the transactions is immutable, which means I've already told you, if the transaction gets recorded, it becomes immutable. It can be just written, and after that it can be just read. It cannot be edited. It cannot be deleted. So which means that once the transaction gets recorded, the other transaction keeps on happening in the blocks. And that's why blockchains are referred to as a system of a compact disk. When we have write once and read many, so we only have the read only system here. Okay, so you can say it's like a ledger written in ink, and error cannot be erased over there. You have to create a new entry. So in the blockchain, we have a decentralized pair. So once we have the starting of the blockchain, we have a legacy network systems that you can see over here, but still the spikes as well as the hacking was possible. But today the blockchain network distributed ledgers are becoming better. And that was the answer, everybody, that what is actually meant by distributed ledger, a ledger in which every transaction gets recorded under the single hand and everybody can see the transaction. Now imagine, everybody, that if you are working, if you are a company and you work with another company, and other company has different bank, you have a different bank, and you go for a partnership or you trade some transactions, the books of accounts become very, very complex, because bank has different books, you have different books, the company has different books, and even their bank has different books. So what if I tell you that I create a simple hyperledger where every transaction is recorded under the one head and everybody can see the transaction? So that's the reason that blockchain is actually solving lots of problems. Complexity problems are being solved. So the encryption that already have told you, it is actually using SHA 256-bit, which is almost inhackable. And till date, I have not been seen any error or any hacking case that has been reported in blockchain. Even I'm a professional hacker myself. I also tried to hack blockchain 1 or 2 times. I can say 5 to 6 times, but I was failed. So you can say that blockchain encryption system is one of the best with SHA 256-bit. So consensus protocol, this is one you have to see, because many people ask me that, sir, is blockchain using protocols? We always say, yes, blockchain has the protocols, because protocols consist of rules and regulations, how the data will be transmitted from one thing to another thing. That's a networking definition. But over there, we also have consensus protocol, but the word protocol has been replaced with mechanism. So if you talk of blockchains, if you want to do for like entry system, both of the parties have to agree for that. Like suppose if you want to send me the money, I have to agree that I will receive the money and you have to send the money, and we have to exchange the keys, and then we have to follow a particular proof of work, proof of state activity, and then we can exchange the transaction. And that's the reason blockchain considers both the parties as the single party over which the contract happens, and we have to follow a mechanism that is known as consensus mechanism. So where might blockchains use cryptography? So the most important thing you can see already, the start of the transaction till the transaction is recorded in the block, everything is used with cryptography. So the first thing is when we start with the initiation as well as a broadcast of the transactions. I will be telling you in practical thing how it is actually initiated, but I would be telling you from the basics and then we go towards advanced concepts. So initiation and broadcasting, we have two types of things. One is digital signature. So if you talk of a wallet, so let me tell you how you want to do for blockchain. Blockchain requires a particular digital wallet. Like suppose you have a bank account. So over here we have a wallet in which you have to convert your cash into the coins, or you can say the digital currency. And for that you have to have a digital signature everywhere that I am the authentic sender or I am the authentic receiver. And after that, in order to broadcast the transaction to maintain the security, we have the private keys between receiver and sender, and we use public keys for the Bitcoin miners to validate and authenticate the transaction. So once the validation of transaction is done, it is used using proof of work and with the chain of blocks, which means once the transaction gets authenticated, it is using hashing that was actually done by Adam Smith in order to record the transaction. So even which means that once the transaction gets floated, it becomes more and more secure. So have a peace of mind, blockchain cannot be hacked. So what's a distributed ledger? You can see over here, we have a single entity system. Here we have the company, clients or other things, and everything becomes like a confusing state. But over here, we have multiple entries. Everything is written on a particular head. I will be telling you one practical example, and you can see that the complexity as well as the security and privacy, it is properly maintained. So how does a distributed ledger work? Now, this is the most important presentation for you to understand. So the first important thing is if you are the receiver and I am the sender, there is a party A and there is a party B, and I want to send the money. Like let's suppose how we send with a bank account. First of all, I should know your account name, account number, then your bank account address, then IFSC code or your IBAN number or other things. And after that, I have to initiate the transaction. The transaction will be started from my bank account. Then it goes to a centralized system. Then the bank will validate. It will take about 30 to 40 minutes to validate and then it transfers. But over here, it is not like the system. So there is no party between you and me. We just use an exchange. We use a platform in order to make the currency exchange between both of us. So the first thing is we have to initiate the transaction with a digital signature. And once the transaction is initiated, it is converted into a small block that is being transmitted over the biggest ledger in the world. That is called a peer-to-peer system. And over there, we have the Bitcoin miners that are actually taking the transaction, and depending on their work and the overload, they actually validate the transaction. There was a time when only one Bitcoin miner used to validate a transaction, but now 3 Bitcoin miners are required to validate one transaction. So once they aggregate the transaction that, okay, I'm satisfied, this is the mining has been done, they actually validate your transaction and add that information into the blocks. So that's a block based chain. So that blocks get broadcast with each other that are you the person, are you the identification? So which means we have to exchange the wallet IDs. So once the consensus protocol gets matched, so the other block gets transferred to the other person. So that's the reason, everybody, that we have to initiate the transaction. We have to convert it block. We have to authenticate the transaction. Then we have to take the wallet ID and we have to use our private and public keys to make the money reaching to you. So blockchain is basically a shared replicated permissioned ledger technology, permissioned ledger. So it opens up new venues to reduce the cost, improving efficiency. And the most important thing you can say, it increases the trust, no collusion, no tampering, no frauds, and even it reduces the integration complexity. And above all, the settlement can happen in seconds. So if you talk of Bitcoins today, because no doubt the matter is the network is very sophisticated, so it can take up to 1 hour to 4 hours. But if you talk of Ripple and Litecoins, it can even take 4 seconds. But in the near future, expect if you just click of a button, the money gets transferred to other person like a blink of eye. So the potential application. So this is the area where you have to do your research, and already in South Africa there is one country. So I don't remember don't remember the city name in that. So in South Africa already the government have started using blockchain for the voting. So we have already started in agriculture. I'm using blockchain in gaming technology. I will be showing you one of my invention that we are going to file as soon as possible. It is already done. I'm going to submit as soon as possible. So you can say that blockchain technology in Vietnam, it is into e-commerce and even towards land registries. But depending on India, because I've not seen any critical application in India right now for blockchain. So India is a big market where you can actually adopt blockchains. So e-commerce, P2P lending, healthcare, most important. And even if you're going for intellectual property, because where intellectual property can be lost anytime. So blockchain is the only answer for that. Then market funding, digital rights, everything. So how the blockchain works. Now, this is the central part. I would like to inform all of you that please pay a very close attention on this. So see this. Now you are party A and I am party B. Or I can say that I am party A, you are the party B. I want to send you about $50. Now remember everybody, if you want to send $50, you have to either have a bank account or either you have to have $5 then $10, which means you have to have a particular denomination. So over here, if you want to send $50, $5 or $1, you can see the latest currency exchange and you can convert that particular money into that particular fraction. So suppose if I want to send $50 and the currency exchange is $35,000, one Bitcoin, so I can send you 0.000000943 Bitcoins. And that Bitcoins will be the value of $50 as of today. So I want to send you the money. And if I want to send you the money, the first important thing is to have the Bitcoin wallet. I will be telling you some of the websites which are most reliable, and that is only you can do for that. So every transaction is represented in a block. So the first thing is the person must be having a wallet and the other person must be having the wallet. They must exchange the private keys with each other, and that block and that money must be having a particular digital signature. And after that, I add the public key so that it gets broadcasted in a particular network. So every transaction will be represented as a particular block, which means transaction happens, it will be put it as a block to the main blockchain network. So once the party gets broadcasted, it broadcasts to the open P2P system where miners are there and they just take the transaction. So they have to approve that transaction. And once the transaction gets approved with the complex algorithms, computational complexity, so everything, they add the transaction to the main chain. And once that chain is being handled, the chain system will actually detect the other Bitcoin wallet ID, that this is the wallet ID. Suppose my wallet ID is 832 and your wallet ID is 231. So it will be there in that. And once it gets activated in the particular chain, the money will be transferred to you. So there is no banking system, there is no government. So that's the reason everybody, you can even float the black monies. And even let me tell you, I'm saying it openly, most of the terrorist organizations, they are using blockchains these days for their funding activities. And even if you talk of the lots of other things that are happening in a black market or dark web, it is only happening with blockchain. So you can see the weakness right now. You can say that the key management is still an issue. Some trust can happen problem, but the most important thing is everything is becoming into strengths and opportunities. But the only thing, the most important threat is that don't get flawed by one person that, sir, they call you that, sir, you want to invest into blockchain. We will double your money in 3 days or for 40 days. Yes, they can double, but make it sure that you first of all do a proper background check of that company, because frauds are very easy to make in this blockchain network. So the revolutionary benefits of the blockchain, you can see it is tamper proof. The second thing, there is no intermediaries like bank. It is insanely secure. And the most important thing, we have the reconciled data distributed across all the parties, and we have the smart contracts to complete the transactions, self-execution and logical workflows. So right now, the most important website for blockchain for trustworthy data that I use is 101blockchains.com. You can note down this website. And right now you can see that lots of companies, even the blue chip companies, even the Fortune 500 companies, they are actually adopting blockchain. So you can see right now, even Visa has adopted the Pfizer, the first company in the race of making the COVID-19 medicine. They also adopted because they already know that the payment will be becoming in millions or billions or trillions. So the payment for the COVID-19 medicine will be done mostly in blockchains. So we have the Shell company, and even you can see that lots of travel companies like Singapore, Etihad, Delta, British Airways, and that's the area where Indian Airways has to see the potential. So over you can say in governments, already Korea, Dubai, and even Vietnam government is already there in the race. But right now, China wants to become a blockchain country. So maybe the government of China will become most important, biggest market in the world for blockchains. So the working with the biggest companies, you can see we have the banking with the Bank of America, the trade of finance, which is known as Statistics, one of the biggest areas, Barclays, the supply chain, identity management by Colombia, Sita Airways, and API as the human resource. So every company is actually started adopting blockchain systems. And let me tell you today, everybody, that even if you want to get your resume, if you want to submit your application, so there is no need to send the resume. You just make a block of entry of your resume, and all the job websites, they automatically get your block entry. They match the keywords, and the resume is already transmitted to the that is the employers. So ledgers are the key. So you can say that as you can see that it's a secure log file. So similarly, all the transactions that you record in a business, they gets recorded in a ledger. So similarly, all the transactions that you do in the blockchain will also be recorded there. So we have the transaction and we have a contract. So contract means a transaction between two parties. Okay. So similarly, this is a problem in the business today. And that's the reason the businesses also call me that, sir, we want to implement a hybrid blockchain or private blockchain or public blockchain system we want to adopt. So I just do for the implementation. So you can see over here that recording of events become very complex when we have party A, party B, party C, party D, bank account and auditor. Every person has different books, but this problem is solved using this. And see this, everybody, we have proper shared, replicated and permissioned ledger, which is consensus, immutable and even finality. So this is the main thing that blockchain is actually solving all the complexities in your whole world. So let's discuss something with regard to Satoshi Nakamoto. And even till today, we don't know where this person is. And most of the parties have even gone with the fraud, and till date people, mostly 6 or 7 people are missing till date that who have created the frauds. So Satoshi Nakamoto, he was actually gone with the inception of 2008 with implementation 2009. And you can see from this slide right now that how much improvement he has done. He has just gone with just improvement and combination of different factors of advantages by the previous generations, and he made the Bitcoin. So he was not the inventor, he was just the innovator for digital currency. So he used the public key, the timestamping, hash cash, again, role of nodes, the miners, which means at that time, the mining role was not there. The nodes were dishonest, but over here, the mining nodes are honest with Bitcoin miners. And for the bashing of transaction, like the recording of transactions, we use one data structure that is called the Merkle tree. So that's the reason, everybody, that Bitcoins also have a tree-based structure. That we don't use binary search tree or binary tree or a red black tree or M tree. We use the Merkle tree for bashing of the transactions. So over here, we also have the same thing of the concept of parent and child nodes. So the most important thing is that Bitcoin was got the first implementation of blockchain. So blockchain is basically a technology, and Bitcoin was the first critical application to adopt blockchain. So that's the reason, everybody, that even there is a question between us that which came first, hen or an egg. So again, there is a question between us that blockchain was invented first or a Bitcoin was invented first. And there is a very controversial statement. You can see that Bitcoin is the first real-time implementation of blockchain. So which means that blockchain was already existing. So it was existing, then why don't the other inventors have used that? But if it was not existing, then which means that blockchain was invented after Bitcoin, then who was the inventor? Who was the main person? Where is the sourcing authority? So you can say that blockchain is still more confidential from that date till today, and we have less information for that. So Bitcoin is a reinvention, basically a reinvention for how the transactions will be processed. And you can see that this is a block, and over here, if you make any transaction, every transaction will be recorded in a particular block. And these blocks are actually linked with each other with a linear chain that is cryptographically hashed. So that's the reason we use hashing in that. So multiple blocks are combined together and they get a blockchain. So what is Bitcoin? Now let us talk of Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is basically known as a peer-to-peer digital currency. So ladies and gentlemen, now I would like to share my personal information with all of you. I started trading of Bitcoins in the, you can say when it was about $11,434. Now imagine, everybody, I'm having right now, I will not tell you the number, but I'm having good Bitcoins with me. And right now the number is $35,000 plus. Now imagine, you can do the mathematics, how much money I have earned in last 4 to 5 years and how much money I have earned in last 20 to 25 days. But just, I would like to tell you one thing. I would like to give you one example that last month, I have invested $2,000, and that $2,000 has given me $18,500. So it means a clear profit of $16,500 that I have earned. This is my profit, but you can imagine that even I'm a consultant. So how much money I have earned in last 2 months, even though the world is under lockdown and still we are getting rich. So it's a scare token. So the most important thing is it is a highly volatile token. And I've already told you that only 21 million Bitcoins are available. Only 21 millions. And it will be exhausted by 2142. So the most important thing is that's the reason Bitcoin has a boundary. But other currencies like Ripple, Ethereum, Litecoins, they have no boundaries. And that's the reason it value increase, because it is having limitation. And other currencies, they are favoring, they are improving, they are getting used to of more things, and they are improving that. So you can see that this is the most confidential data. So August 18, 2008, the bitcoin.org was registered. So even till date, even it is not known that who was the actual person recipient of that Bitcoin. October 31, the Bitcoin design paper was published by Satoshi Nakamoto, and Bitcoin became the open source on November 9. So even if you talk of digital currency today, everything is open source. So in January 3, the first block was established that is known as Genesis block. 1615 is equivalent to 0.5 seconds. So this time and this date is very important for us. And you can see it's a lucky time. January 9, Bitcoin version 0.1 was released, and January 12, you can see the first Bitcoin transaction was happened in block 170 from Satoshi to Hal Finney. And now the question stands, if Satoshi Nakamoto was the inventor, then why the block number 170 is there? Why not block number 1? And what is in block 1 to 169? Again, it's a hidden secret. It is not open to whole of the world till today. This is again a closed word, I'm saying, everybody. So the Bitcoins are basically secure, efficient, open, and commercial. Today, if you have more than $200 to invest or $300, you want to take a risk, this is the time to take the risk. And this is the money that you can invest and you can become a rich person, I'm saying. So as a bank and currency, it is originally intended. So I just come to, so as a platform, you can see that you can insert any transaction. You can even make this like this, $0.00001. So even for this one, as per the latest currency, it is about 7,450 rupees. So maybe it's a $0.001, but it is having a Bitcoin value. So blockchain platforms, it can be both public, private, and hybrid. So what is public blockchain, which is known to everybody? Private blockchain, if you want to create your own blockchain system with your own servers, that I've already told you, we use Intel systems as well as NVIDIA technology for making the blockchain system. So I have done 2 projects with 2 hospitals and 1 with a data center. And plus, if you want to combine both of them, there becomes a hybrid blockchain. But one more blockchain is also coming. I have not written the slide right now. That's called industry blockchain, because in the future, we will have Industry 4.0, cyber physical systems, completely controlled with cobotics. And for that, we need to keep the records not only into cloud computing, we actually have to come towards blockchain. So potential is very strong. So let us talk of the second part now. I would like to complete the lecture in 10 minutes now. Why is it relevant for our business? So you can see it saves the time, remove the cost, reduce the risk, and above all, it increases the trust with smart contracts and Hyperledger. So blockchain for the business, you can see that we have shared ledger that can append across the business network, smart contract that can execute all the transactions in a particular term, the complete privacy is there, and of course, all the parties agree on a particular consensus mechanism for lower cost and particular efficiency. So for the real-time blockchain for business, we have everything called scalable and viable. Okay. And you can see that I've already discussed the shared ledger with all of you, the data sets that are shared among all the parties. Every parties must verify all the data sets. No tempered data sets are excluded, and immutable single source of truth is established. So for the blockchain use for business, you can see that we can go for business contracts. No problems for any types of bill of lading or other things to be done with the bank. You can go for international transactions, no taxation to be paid or no charges to be paid. Auditing becomes very simple. We can even file for insurance claims. That is very, very important. And above all, blockchain is between you and me. So there is no problem for any taxes, which means whatever profit you earn, maybe in Korea, because government is now becoming strict because of 5% tax. But some of the countries, like in European countries, there is no tax, which means whatever the profit I'm earning, I don't have to pay a single money as a taxation to the government. So for the adoption, you can see that already the companies have started adopting. I've already given you the website, that is Blockchain 101. And now let us talk of case studies, how it is in real action. So the key players, there are three types of key players in blockchain. One is regulator, industry group, and market maker. Now let me show you the examples. So the first most important word that the important supply chains logistics based company that is using for container shipping is Maxex. And even let me tell you, this company is providing a huge blockchain system so that nobody can modify, append, or delete a record. In the future, if you talk of Lufthansa Airlines, all your baggages and your, you can say the parcels will be actually using blockchains. And this is the dream of mine, everybody, that India should adopt, that is called a virtual digital passport. No need to go for a visa or other thing or documentation, everything using blockchain, and you can travel without physical travel documents. Saudi Arabia and even Australia, they are the forerunners in order to make their airports and even their immigration system as a paper-free system. And digital trace food, this is one of our research that we have done, and I am working into Remix IDE. So we have used that IDE in order to create a food blockchain system that you can read my paper online. And this is again from the provenance use cases for the vehicle maintenance. And other references you can see as IBM, Oracle, they are all working very hard and strong. And even Walmart and even eBay, they are also coming into blockchain. So blockchain has already started. It is not the future. So the future of security will be, you can see that we have the traditional approach of two things: internal security transaction systems with firewalls and IDS systems, and we have clearinghouses when we have third-party authentication like CC avenues or other things. But in the blockchain, we have distributed ledger with cryptographic integrity. Let me tell you, everybody, if you want to transfer the money from one account to another account, you need a third party for that. But in blockchain, it is not like that. State. So leading blockchain consortiums right now that you can do your research is R3, that is generation 3, China Ledger, Hyperledger project. So I'm working on Hyperledger, and even I'm working on 2-3 more aspects that I cannot declare much now because already we are in process of making lots of patents and publications. So the blockchain tools which I would like to give you right now that the developers love. So right now, if you talk of me, that's what tool are you using? I'm using Remix, we are using Infura, we are using Get, and even we are using Status. So these are the 4 tools that I'm using in order to solve the problems, especially for AI in healthcare and especially for transportation vehicles. So I'm working on smart cities and even on gaming. I will like to show you the product after some time. So this is the comparison of main blockchain platforms. So right now, if you talk of the best eminent platform is Ethereum. And if you talk of other blockchain platforms, then Cardano, Qtum, Lisk, and Neo, these are also very good. So depending on your skills, because these blockchains and other things require huge amount of skills, and that is what you have to do that. Okay. So this is the regulation that you can see right now, everybody, that regulation by the country. So India is under not very close. You can see it is under very tight regulation, but still countries like China, Vietnam, South Korea, USA, Canada, they are actually making it lighter and lighter. So Germany is one of the country that is also in process to become the technical hub for blockchains. So India needs to cross its belt and needs to improve better. So that's all for the lecture. So if you really want to, you can say, be connected to me, you can see my Instagram, that is Anand Nayyar. And here is my email ID, my WhatsApp number. Okay. Now let me show you something, everybody. I hope everybody is seeing my camera. Are you able to see my camera, everybody? Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Everybody, can you see my camera? Okay.
Yes, yes.
Now, everybody, I would like to tell you that maybe I will become the first person in the world. I'm saying in the next 6 to 7 days, because right now I will not show you practically, but because it's a secret. This is a gaming console. It's an open source gaming console. You can see that we have even assembled it. It is even having a microcontroller, battery, and even it can work on anything. So even we are having our own operating system that is based on Java. So you can play retro games or other things. Like suppose it is also having Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. Like suppose if you are playing a retro game, a Mario game here, and your friend is playing another Mario game on the same console. So you can compare the scores, and even all your scores can become a blockchain score, which means it's the first gaming console, like a video game, that is having blockchain capability. The first one in its world, I am saying you. Believe me, it was unimaginable. It is imaginable in front of you. Gaming can even get a good score. Gaming is a good area that you can do blockchain application. And this is my innovation and invention. Maybe I'm the first person to implement blockchain practically in gaming. Now I would like to tell you something very good for you. Sir, can you see the screen, please? See the web browser? Can you see the web browser, everybody?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Now, many people give me a question that, sir, how we can start the trading. So I would like to share some websites with all of you, and don't worry, the organizer can give me an email, and I will share the email links with all of you. So organizer can email me. So many people ask me the question, sir, where we can find security in blockchain, where we can be rest assured that which blockchain Bitcoin wallet we can buy. So I'm going to tell you some of the websites which I think that if you're a beginner, you can use these platforms to start the trading. Now, the first important golden rule. Everybody, please listen to me. Very, very important. Listen to me and write it down. The first golden rule. This nobody will tell you. Don't invest in a currency which is having the value more than $200. Suppose if you have a currency which is having $35, $40, I will be showing you the cryptocurrency chart. Invest in that because it's a low risk game. If you have a loss of money, it will not be a big loss. Suppose you add $200, maybe you get a loss of $10 or $15, but you will recover with time. Don't invest in higher denominations. If you are a beginner, please start the investment with only $275. That's the best dollars that you can have. Now the question stands where you can buy the Bitcoin wallet, how you can do that. I will be telling you some of the platforms which are reliable and that is totally trusted by the blockchain people. Even as a researcher, even as a computer hacker, I say that I fully guarantee that these systems are fully accurate. So the first website I would like to give you is BitBNS. So if you want to do the trading, like suppose if you have a Bitcoin wallet and you want to do the trading, like suppose today you want to sell some coins, you want to buy some coins, this is the first cryptocurrency trading platform that you can find. This is the first thing. Okay, so you can even go for INR deposits. You can even go for a Bitcoin wallet with them. You can deposit the money and they will give you the equivalent Bitcoins for that. So let me tell you what is starting. So you have to make a Bitcoin wallet and after that you have to buy you have to buy some Bitcoins using these type of persons and they will take your money like $275 and you can tell them that, okay, sir, give me $50 of Bitcoins, $50 of Litecoins. I will be telling you and they will convert those coins and give it into wallet. And after that, you can start trading that, okay, sir, I want to sell the Bitcoins. I want to buy more. I want to book my profit, whatever it is. It is like the stock exchange. Second website, which I would like to give you is called ZebPay. Very few people know about this. This is called ZebPay again. It's a very good website. It will take some time. Okay. So till it opens, the next website which I would like to give you is unocoin.com. Okay. So over here, many people ask me this question, sir, we want to buy and sell the cryptocurrency. So you can add your mobile number and you can get started. So you can build your own crypto platform here. And let me tell you, if you want to buy the Bitcoins, like suppose if you want to buy the 2 Bitcoins, you can find lots of currencies and exchange values, whatever the value that you want to add in, transaction costs. So whatever you want to have, you can have with this website. Now, the next website, which is the most important for all of you, that's sir, where is the exact values of Bitcoins that we can see? And I only rely, even I'm doing currency trading from last 4 years. Let me tell you that this is the most important website that I recommend you. And this is the only website that you can trust. That is called currencychart.com. So you can see that right now the Bitcoins are at 35,024. And I recommend you, everybody now, if you want to listen to me, listen to me. If you are a starter, invest into 4 currencies. One is called Ripple. Second is called Litecoin. Third is called Bitcoin Cash. And the fourth one I recommend you is Binance Coin. So this will give you a good return. And let me tell you, you can see that everything is at a good fluctuation. It is volatile, but it is not at a very high fluctuation because in Bitcoins, everything can become a skyrocket and it can even fall down. So unless you are not a very experienced player, don't dare to invest into Bitcoins. You will lose your money. Now, the next website which I would like to tell you, in which you will be properly interested, that is called coindesk.com. So in the CoinDesk, you will find all the information of latest cryptocurrencies, what is happening, what are the news, and you can sign on with your email for over here. So what about the latest stats, Bitcoin, blockchain bytes, whatever it is, you can work on that. And this one is very important for all of you. That is called blockchain.news. So keep an eye on what is happening. And recently you can see that Twitter CEO has expresses his passion, and even in the future, maybe Twitter, and even let me tell you, at one time, Facebook also wants to launch its digital currency. And even there is also two companies in computer science, maybe Google and IBM, and even Twitter, they're also planning to launch their own currency in the market. So you can say that if Google can comes into market shares like mutual funds or other things, they will also come into cryptocurrencies. So this was all about the lecture. Now, if anybody has any question or anybody wants to interact with me, they can unmute themselves. They can post their question on the chat box. I'm available for you. I hope everybody has enjoyed the lecture.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you for your informative session. And I think you gave us the platform to start our session today on blockchain. Sir, we have one question over here. The question is, by creating, am I audible, sir?
Yes, sir, of course.
Yeah, by creating large number of fake peers in a network, an attacker can cause core nodes to slow down.
Yes.
Or become non-responsive as they attempt to connect to the nearly announced peers. How we can solve such issue then?
Actually, sir, that was the issue when there was a particular called a black hole attack, or there was called a CBL attacks, like these things. But today, if you talk of today's blockchains that are actually having a smart contract, or they're using blockchain 4.0 standard, these type of problems have already gone. So you don't say that these are the problems now to be researched out. It is already solved. Yeah, this is an old problem actually today.
Thank you, sir. Any participant, if you want to ask any question,
if you want to have some of my experience, you can even ask my experience in blockchains and bitcoins. I would like to answer you.
Sir, good morning, sir.
Good morning, ma'am.
This is Sumitra, sir. Actually, I don't know about this blockchain. This is the first time I'm getting all the messages from you, sir. Actually, this is very nice session and informative session, sir. But what is the main question for me means, is it good for what the amount we are paying for this blockchain? Is
Madam,
it good for us?
Told you. Yeah, I got your question, madam. I have already told you, madam, that blockchain and Bitcoin investment is not for everybody. So if you want to take a risk game, you can invest into that, but you have to be very sure that what are your platforms, what are the currency trading website that you're using. So I've already given you the website that is called Currency Chart. So keep a close eye on that. After that, BitBNS is good. Then Binance is also very good. You can trade into that. So you can say Zeppay is also very good website. So you can research on them. You can transfer the money. You can buy the bitcoins, and then you can start trading.
Okay, sir. Actually, without any knowledge, we can't go for
madam,
it.
Without knowledge, you can't start, madam. You will lose your money in 5 minutes.
Okay.
And let me tell you, today even, I don't say that I'm 100% guy, but believe me, but with the grace of God, I would like to tell you that till date, from the last 6 years, I have only lost $4,000. There was a loss of $4,000, but even I have earned more than $40,000. I haven't lost money.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
So I have got a question, sir. Can you discuss on the interoperability of various blockchain platforms? Yes, of course, interoperability is a very good option to discuss. But if you talk of interoperability, if you really want to do research towards interoperability, then smart contract and Hyperledger, these are the best platforms.
Dr. Anand, good afternoon.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, I'm Dr. Anita Vinayak from Amity University, Delhi. It was a wonderful session. I am also from IT side. Sir, I want to know, do I need to have a high computational power in my computer, even if I'm investing in Bitcoin, or it is not required for us?
It is not required. It is not required. Only computational power is required if you want to become a Bitcoin miner.
So suppose I want to become a Bitcoin miner.
No, madam, you can't become, madam, because it's a trustworthy system. And if you want to become a Bitcoin miner, you have to get internal connections.
I have to get what, sir?
Internal connections, madam. Because I am a Bitcoin miner, I have played a huge role in the Bitcoin industry. Only then you can you have to have a sophisticated infrastructure.
So suppose we are talking about, say, in Bitcoins, we
Okay,
say
madam,
that there are
this thing. Okay, can you see my computer right now?
right, so we can see.
Can you see can you see my computer? This computer.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Madam,
sir, I can see.
Madam, it's a secret configuration. Madam, let me tell you, it is having 20 terabyte of hard disk. It's a RAID 10 configuration. And even let me tell you, this computer never stops, never sleeps. It is having Intel Xeon technology. And this computer that you can see right now on my desk right now that I use to do my research on blockchain, it is costing, as per Indian currency, it is costing around 14 to 15 lakhs.
Correct, sir. So, for a miner, they need to have a high exponential power of a computer.
Sometimes even the Mac Pros, Apple Mac Pro, because I'm also ordering one Apple Mac Pro more in my lab. And believe me, sometimes even gets disturbed for that.
Correct, sir. Sir, when we talk about a smart contract, suppose we are a group of 5 people. So, what is smart contract? It is the transparency within these 5 people, or it is something.
It is basically the transparency and mutual agreement between all the parties that all the terms and conditions that you've agreed, it comes on the single data set, and every party can see what other party is doing, and everything is open to all the third or all the parties, to all of you. That is why the businesses have A, B, C, D, etc. And after that, over there with Hyperledger and smart contracts, every business can see the transaction at a particular point of time.
So, like we talk about protocols, sir, what type of protocols are working?
It is not protocol, madam. We can say it is a protocol, but over there we have consensus protocols, but actually we don't say it is a protocol, it's a mechanism. So like proof of work, proof of activity, proof of state, like all these type of things. These are all protocols, because if you and me want to trade Bitcoins, we have to mutually agree with consensus mechanism. So that consensus mechanism is basically a protocol.
Sir, is it between you and me, or it is between me and your computer?
You and me, with the Bitcoin wallets using the cryptocurrency platform.
So it is a human to human, not human to object or machine.
No, human to human, madam, human to human. But we only use that is called the cryptocurrency exchange. That's all.
Correct, sir. Correct, sir. Thank you so much, Dr. Anna. It was wonderful listening to you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
And I would like to inform all of you, if you are interested, please, if you can see the screen again.
Right,
just type open source for you and just search my name, Anand Nayyar. So if you can go to this page that is open source for you, recently you can see that I'm already collaborated with Wipro company. So we are already publishing lots of blockchain projects over here. So even blockchain consortium, the first article in the planet, it is also coming next month. So you can see lots of blockchain based work I have done over here. So you can read my articles free of cost.
So definitely we will add.
Madam, I'm actually collaborating with top industry experts, and I'm working with industry projects. Actually, you can see that if I can make a gaming console of blockchain, I can do anything. I can even I've done lots of work in terms of, madam, like I'm a consultant to lots of people. That sir, they give me the money, they trust me. That sir, please help us to earn the money. Like I'm an investment consultant for Bitcoins also.
Correct, sir.
I don't do one work of research papers. I do lots of work for industry.
Correct, sir. Thank you, sir. We will take your guidance, sir. Thank you, sir.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Please go ahead.
Hello.
Yes, please go ahead.
Sir, I am Devi from I am Devi from SRM University, Chennai. Sir, I am doing the research work in my blockchain. In which area we have to go, sir? Specifically, I don't know any idea about how to do the research work. So please give me any suggestions.
Okay. Actually, madam, many people even also. Madam, I'm listening to you. Please listen. Please let me speak, please. Thank you. So, as madam has told me, very good question, that she is doing her PhD and she wants to do her research on blockchain, etc. So every day, almost you can say 3 or 4 emails come to my email inbox that, sir, we want to do research in blockchain. I'm an MTech student. I'm an MS student. I want to do my PhD in blockchain. So what we can choose? So whether it's a blockchain, whether it's a IoT, now let me take something towards research now. Now, whether you're doing your research into IoT or blockchain, or whether it's a security or image processing or AI, whatever it is, the first important thing to note it down is that what is the critical application? That if you want to do research in blockchain, where do you want to see your blockchain based research in the real time, like in food industry, like in e-voting or other things? So first of all, the most important thing is that what exactly is your real-time critical application. After that, you have to finalize that what is the problem that is being associated with that sector, whether it's a logistic problem, whether it's a data security problem. Like suppose if I'm working on a autonomous car, and in that autonomous car, my research is that I want to make a blockchain system to enhance the security of the car so that no hacker can physically or virtually take control of your car system and can damage the car or make the accidents. So you can even take anything like a smart city that, okay, sir, we want to connect all the data. We want to make the data non-volatile. We want to connect everything. You can take a hospital. You can design your own private blockchain for the industry. You can even design a blockchain system for government, that how we can make the Aadhaar card. So the main thing is you have to find the critical application. Then you have to find what is the problem with that area and how you can solve that problem with blockchain structure, and you can come up with a particular blockchain system and architecture that is actually solving that problem in real-time application. That's the answer. That is how you can do your PhD. Now find the critical application, find the problems, and then design a blockchain structure. You can code them. You can use Hyperledger, R3 Corda. You can take the support from Blockchain Consortium. It's a very active community, and you can start your research. So I hope everything makes sense for you, ma'am. Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay,
sir.
sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Sir, excuse me, sir. One more question.
Yes, please.
Sir,
Yes, please.
sir, in blockchain, if you are doing the project means, so specifically, if you have to take public or private ledger, or we
That
have to go
depends.
for contract.
No, that depends. No, that depends. Actually, if you're doing your work till master degree, we say that you can use public blockchain. But if you're doing for a work of but if you're doing for the work of PhD or industry level, then of course, madam, you have to design your own private blockchain or hybrid blockchain depending on the project. So for your PhD, I would like to tell you that you must take a framework. You must do your coding from Solidity, JavaScript, or C++, and then you have to redesign your blockchain structure. That, sir, I came up with a blockchain for e-voting. I came up with a blockchain for food industry. I want to came up with a blockchain that how we can connect all the petrol pumps together, and we can find that how much petrol is coming up and how much the logistics and the accounting system is going on. You can even make a blockchain system for a local industry. Lots of projects are there, madam. You have to find the real time. The problem is that the people don't go to the real time and they want to take the problems. It is basically a recording of the transaction, how you make a particular block of the data immutable. That's the answer. So for that, you need to have the consensus mechanism, and already it is secure from the base, from the initiation to the recording of the blocks to the chaining of that system in the hyperledgers.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, sir. I think you have spent enough time with us today.
I share my Instagram, my email ID and everything on the chat box, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And maybe many of the participants are requesting for your PPT also.
That we can see, sir.
Yeah, if you can share the presentation, it will be helpful. And from the management and from the department, I would wholeheartedly thank you for accepting our invitation and giving us a platform to start this faculty development program on blockchain. And we will be in contact with you, sir, because we need your suggestions and also your help, because many of our students are also pursuing this blockchain related projects. And thank you, sir, and thank you, participants.
Future, sir, when you're planning your FDP, if you're when you're planning your FDP, this is the most important talk that I would like to share with all of you. That when you plan your FDP, like whether you're doing your FDP in cyber physical systems or blockchain, find at least 2 sessions that how you can use that blockchain and you can find some implementation towards critical application. Because if you talk of a research paper like SCA paper, many people can come up that, okay, I'm taking a data set, I'm putting some coding over there and I'm putting some result. This is not the answer. Today, SCA paper requires the integration of critical application.
Correct. Yes, sir. We'll definitely do that.
Without critical applications, sir, no FDP is actually complete in itself. That's why I was stressing more on critical applications.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you, participants. All of you can join at 12:15 for the second session. And the link is shared in your WhatsApp group. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.